Hello, Chernaris Wasteland. This is the one and only Jackpot, broadcasting live from the Milky Way Communications Array, or the MWCA, your one and only stop for news in post-apocalyptic Chernaris. And now, on to the news. It's been some time since the last major firefight erupted in Electro. I guess you could say that the storm is brewing over. But don't mind me and my silly jokes. Regardless of the lull in the storm, Electro remains as dangerous as ever for those even looking for just basic supplies. Remember, kiddos, be on the lookout in any major coastal city, and always check your corners. You never know what's lurking in the shadows. Until next time, this has been Jackpot, bringing you the best and worst news out of our little wasteland. And now, for some music. Roy Brown is reporting in with his song entitled Butcher Pete, a fellow you really wouldn't want to meet out there.
Hey everybody, did the news get around about a guy named Butcher Pete? Old Pete just flew into this town and he's chopping up all the women's meat.
He's hacking and whacking and smacking. He's hacking and whacking and smacking. He's hacking and whacking and smacking. He just hack, whack, chopping that meat.
Butcher Pete's got a long, sharp knife. He starts chopping and don't know when to stop. All you fellas better watch your wives, 'cause Pete don't care whose meat he chops.
He's hacking and whacking and smacking. He's hacking and whacking and smacking. He's hacking and whacking and smacking.
Hey, now.
Hack, whack, chopping that meat.
Ever since Pete flew into town, he's been having a ball. Just cutting and chopping for miles around. Single women, married women, old maids and all.
He's hacking and whacking and smacking.
Oh, Pete,
Hacking and whacking
he
and smacking.
loves that meat.
Hacking and whacking and smacking. He just hack, whack, chopping that meat.
Wakes up in the morning, 5:30. Chops from sunrise to sunset. I don't see how he stays alive. Meat's gonna be the death of old Pete yet.
He's hacking and whacking and smacking. He's hacking and whacking and smacking. He's hacking and whacking and smacking. He just hack, whack, chopping that meat.
The police put Pete in jail. Yes, he finally met his fate. But when they came to pay his bill, they found him chopping on his cellmate.
He's hacking and whacking and smacking.
And now,
He's hacking and whacking and smacking. Just hack, whack, chopping that meat.
that's Butcher Pete is the bravest man. Tried to chop down the wind and the rain. Just hacks on anything he can get. Say, turn this record over. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, way back up in the woods among the evergreens, there stood a log cabin made of earth and wood, where lived a country boy named Johnny B. Goode, who never ever learned father told him someday you will be a man, and you will be the leader of a big old band. Many people coming from miles around to hear you play your music when the sun go down. Maybe someday your name will be in lights saying, Johnny, be good tonight. Go, 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 Johnny, go. 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 Go. Johnny, be
And that was Swing Doors by the lovely Allan Gray. Let's all give him a big ol' posthumous round of applause, because you never know if you might be joining him next. Now, on to the news. There's been a sighting of bandits recently scavenging up and around the Central Railroad Station, which is located just west of the Northwest Airfield. The station itself has been disused for years at this point, but it still houses a train that ran up until the initial outbreak of you-know-what. If they were to get it in functioning condition, the areas around the shoreline rail tracks would become vastly more dangerous. Also, if you bimbos are listening to this broadcast right now, consider yourself famous. Whether or not you like it, you'll always have to deal with my lovely voice spoiling all of your little secrets. That's the righteous fight that we brothers and sisters will keep on fighting, to protect our land from your scummy hands. Until next time, this is Jackpot, bringing you the best and worst news out of our little wasteland. And now, for some tunes. We've got some lovely production music from our friends Ren and Stimpy, so I guess this is the thanks I get for working overtime.
I love those dear hearts and gentle people who live in my hometown, because those dear hearts and gentle people will never ever let you down. They read the good book from Friday till Monday. That's how the weekend goes.
How it goes.
I've got a dream house I'll build there one day, with picket fence and rambling road. I feel so welcome each time that I return, that my happy heart keeps laughing like a clown. I love those dear hearts and gentle people who live and love in my hometown. They read the good book from Friday till Monday. That's how the weekend goes. I've got a dream house I'll build there one day, with picket fence and rambling road. I feel so welcome each time that I return, that my happy heart keeps laughing like a clown. Like a clown. I love those dear hearts and gentle people who live and love in my hometown. In my hometown. Those dear hearts and gentle people who live in my hometown.
Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle,
Jingle jangle,
as I go riding merrily along.
jingle jangle,
When they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single?
jingle jangle,
And that song ain't so very far from wrong.
jingle jangle.
Oh, Lily Bell,
Oh, Lily Bell,
oh, Lily Bell.
oh, Lily Bell.
Though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never fell. 'Cause I got screws that jingle, jangle, jingle,
Jingle jangle,
as I go riding merrily along.
jingle jangle,
And they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single?
jingle jangle,
And that song ain't so very far from wrong.
jingle jangle.
Spurs that jingle,
I got spurs that jingle jangle,
as I go riding merrily.
as I go riding merrily
And they sing,
along.
oh, ain't you glad
And they
you're
sing,
single?
oh, ain't you glad that
And that
you're
song
single?
ain't so very far
And
from
that song
wrong.
ain't so very far from wrong.
Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell, though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never find that I never spell that jingle,
I got
jangle,
spurs
jingle,
that jingle
as
jangle,
I go
jingle,
riding merrily
as I go
along.
riding merrily
And they sing,
along.
oh, ain't you glad
And they
you're
sing,
single?
no, ain't you glad that
And
you're
that song
single?
ain't so very far
And that
from wrong.
song ain't so very far from wrong.
That little jingle jangle was brought to you by Kyser, because everyone deserves a happy little jingle once in a while. Now, on to the news. Recent reports coming out of the northeastern corner of Chernarus have stated that an odd caricature has been carved into the side of a hill north of Northeast Airfield. If you're lucky enough to catch an aerial glimpse of it, you'll see that the illustration depicts a tribal man of sorts with a raised stick above his head. Funny thing is, reports of this oddity only started pouring in after the outbreak, which leads you to believe that either someone has lost their goddamn mind, or ghosts. Probably ghosts. Speaking of spooky scenarios, there have also been reports of a strange transmission coming out of Green Mountain Radio Tower. We had some of our team try to tackle the code, and turns out it corresponds with the location of every single deer stand in the region. Creepy, huh? Maybe there's something more to those little huts than we thought there were, but I'll leave that to my adventurous brothers and sisters. Until next time, this is Jackpot, bringing you the best and worst news out of our little wasteland. And now, for some music. We've got some Sinatra lined up for all you classy listeners out there with Ain't That a Kick in the Head.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wet. She's picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't feel any better or I'd be sick. Tell me quick, oh, ain't love a kick? Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head?
To the town of Alfreel rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip, and he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more. 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was in Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red. After Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before a day. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death. About to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas Red had not cleared leather for a bullet fairly ripped. And the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. Big iron, big iron. When he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just want to be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
I don't want to set the world on fire, honey. I love you too much. I just want to start a great big flame down in your heart. You see, way down inside of me, darling, I have only one desire. And that one desire is you. And I know nobody else ain't gonna do.
I've lost all ambition or worldly acclaim. I just wanna be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
Personally, I don't want to set the world on fire, because if I did, my soothing voice wouldn't reach your ears anymore, and then we'd have a real problem. You probably already caught the name of that last one, but as for the artist, you can thank the ink spots for that. That concludes our broadcast for today, listeners, but Jackpot will be back again tomorrow as usual, spreading all the news your little brain can fathom, and continuing the good fight. Remember to lock your doors if you have them, and always keep someone on watch duty. We here at the Milky Way Communications Array would like to wish you all a good night's rest, because you'll need it for tomorrow. Sleep tight, and don't let the deadheads bite.